right, so when I'm on a mission, I'm on a mission, and I am on a mission, always. I call it the treasure hunts of life, looking for the trinkets and treasures and doing good along the way. And so today I'm here, back again at my childhood church cemetery, Salem United Methodist in Brookeville, Maryland, to clean my third headstone here. My first headstone was Mr. M.W. Jefferson Higgins. My second headstone was Mr. and Mrs. Raymond and Jane Moran. And today I drove through this cemetery after dropping my mom off to visit with some of her friends for a couple of hours to come clean another headstone. I don't go shopping, I don't go to bars, I don't go really anywhere. When I have time, I come to the cemetery. And I know that's difficult for some people to understand. Well, who finds their peace in a cemetery? Well, I do. And I have cleaned over 800 some headstones. I've actually at this point lost track. There has been a lot going on in my life the past 2 years, and yet I still try to remain focused on everything. I just want to show really quick these skies, how beautiful. I'm so grateful to be here right now. I'm so grateful that I was able to drop my mother off with her friends. There's a lot going on with my mom. She had a heart attack in August and had surgery to install a defibrillator, and then just a lot of stuff has happened since then. Whoops! She broke her leg, she had surgery, and now the surgery, something happened and it needs to be redone tomorrow. And so me coming to the cemetery is my ways of not only finding my own peace, but being able to rejuvenate my own soul and spirit so that I can continue giving to life to those I love in such ways that, yes, spirit gifts me with. So today I drove through this cemetery. I don't know how many souls are buried here, probably about 1,100. And well, all the souls are calling my name here. Let's just say that. They all want to be cleaned. They all want to be visited. And today I chose Mr. John Wesley Baker. I can't even see Mr. Baker's dates of birth or anything here right now. So that will be beautiful when I finish here. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get started here. Mr. John Wesley Baker. My name is Natalie. I clean headstones. I visit cemeteries. I'm here today to clean your headstone and to visit with you. And when I'm done cleaning your headstone, what I do with all of my headstone cleanings is I upload a before and after picture to the worldwide app of Find a Grave and date it. And then I go and Google your name and see if I can find anything about your life. For now, I'm grateful that my mother is happy with her lifelong friends, having tea and scones and fresh homemade bread with her friends. I feel at peace just being here. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Oh no. Wouldn't this be awful, right? There we go. Gosh, so much is going on. I mean, if I could just back up 2 years and say it in a nutshell. 2 years ago, about 2 years ago, not quite 2 years ago, my father-in-law died. Beautiful man, J.C. York. And when my father-in-law died, well, our worlds shifted. I don't know if the word is greatly, but our worlds shifted. Not even catastrophically, just our worlds shifted horrendously. And me and my husband sold our beautiful sanctuary home, moved to a rent-a-farm for a year. During that time, we began our own farm life. welcomed a whole lot of new life. And at the same time, didn't know during that point of living in limbo what we were going to do with our life. And so we decided this past July to go ahead and say goodbye to Florida, where we lived for 10 years, where I found such peace. I loved Florida. We decided to move back home with my husband's mother. And that was a huge journey, moving our whole farm, our lambs, our roosters, our chickens, everything. And as soon as we got there, well, my mother had a heart attack. And so I then ventured to Myrtle Beach to be with my parents. I stayed there for several weeks. And we all decided to bring our parents. I have 4 brothers and sisters. We decided to bring our parents back to Maryland, which is our hometown, our home base. And, well, October the 8th, I ventured from North Carolina to here, Maryland. I thought I was coming to stay for a week. I had no idea, which is how heaven works, you know. We're not supposed to know everything. I had no idea what I was getting into, what was going to happen, or anything. And that's been now at least 9 weeks ago. I've remained here in Maryland with both of my parents. My father had surgery on his torn Achilles tendon. Both of my parents were bedridden pretty much for about 8 weeks anyway. And well, I'm just grateful for it all. I'm grateful that heaven has afforded me to be here for this long. And I've seen a lot of miracles every day here. Not here at the cemetery, I mean with my family. I am so grateful. Oh, did I mention that when we moved in with my mother-in-law, my husband and I started to have renovations done to the home to accommodate us living there with his mother. And those renovations were supposed to take 6 weeks. Supposed to begin in June, actually. There's still a few weeks left there on those renovations. So that's been a long journey as well. Our parents want us to love them and be with them, but at the same time, it's difficult for our parents at the age that they become to then have their children coming and taking over, basically. Especially when our parents are still totally within the realms of a normal mind. It's hard. So I have felt, yes, me, Natalie, extremely in limbo, living a life of, for the past 2 years, feeling no grounding, no base, no home base, living out of boxes. There's been a lot of death of my animals during this time. I've been sad, I've been mad, I've been frustrated, I've been everything in between. But the main thing is that I'm in awe. I'm in literal awe that I have maintained my sanity, my clarity, my awareness. My soul remains grounded in ways that I've learned during this journey of mine. Doesn't need a home base. I actually began to write a book before all this happened on cliches of life and how they're so true. And so one of the cliches I've learned, literally, home is where your heart is. You don't have to have a firm foundation. You don't have to have a home base. Home is where your heart is. And that's a pretty big awakening. A lot of people think when you start talking spiritual and you start talking about awakenings, oh, Natalie's crazy. Yeah, well, crazy is a term I'll take with peace. Because if believing in God, Jesus, and Spirit makes me crazy, well then crazy I shall be. Right? I'm most eager to discover your name here. More than your name. I've seen your name. Mr. John Wesley Baker, I want to see the dates of your birth. When I dropped my mom off just now with her quilting friends, they were like, oh, don't you want to stay? Oh, come on, don't you want to hang out with us? I'm like, no. I've been with my mom for like 10 weeks now. And yes, I love my mom, but in order for me to continue, literally, in order for me to continue being full of such spirit, to love my mother during such a difficult time, I need time. I've been a talker out loud my whole life. My family's never understood it. And since I've been here, I'm like, oh my God, I am my mother. I'm my mother. She talks out loud just as much as I do. So it's really hard for me. I talk out loud all the time. And it's like, I'll hear from like 3 rooms away, Natalie, what are you saying? I'm like, Mom, I'm just talking to the dogs. Mom, I'm just talking to myself. It is exhausting, but at the same time, I have felt nothing but strength, love, and honor for being here with both of my parents at a time in their lives when they deserve to have such loving care from one of their children. All right, let's see what we got here. This is another, so let me just back up a little bit too. I don't live here. I'm visiting. I thought I was gonna be here for a week. So I don't have all my normal supplies. I've been cleaning headstones for many years now. I usually travel with all of my headstone cleaning supplies. But again, I thought I was only coming here for a week. So I didn't pack all of that stuff. So this is hard for me to clean these headstones with these brushes I got that are not my own brushes. Nothing's the same. And yet, that's what I continue to learn during this journey for me. Nothing ever is the same. It's not meant to be. We all are constantly evolving, changing, like the weather. This is not Windex in here. This is my little headstone cleaning solution, which is water, Dawn detergent, and a little tiny bit of bleach. I'm 50 years old. I have 4 brothers and sisters, and I gotta say, this is the first time in my life where I actually know who I am. And it's because this has been a most intimate journey. Yes, intimate journey with my parents. Helping them with things they never needed help with before. And while I still believe and pray and hope that this is all temporary, my father's already bounced back after his surgery. We're still waiting to figure out what's going on with my mom. It wasn't just the heart attack. She then broke her leg right before her surgery to instill the internal defibrillator. And then my mom started to have all these episodes that appeared to be neurological somehow. And God, it's just a lot of waiting. It's a lot of wonder, a lot of unknowing, and yet I continue to remind my mom it is in the unknowing that we're able to discover something far greater. All right, this is a good start. Look at this, my water started to ice up. That's how cold it is here. Oh my gosh. John Wesley Baker. I still can't see your dates of birth. Hold on, I'm gonna get another brush. Hold on. I don't preach to anybody. I don't feel it's in my life purpose to convince anybody of anything. I do believe my sole mission in this life is to share life. It's up to each of us to believe what we believe. But there are so many of us who just need to be kind of, I don't know, led to somewhere. To open up our minds to thinking of life in different ways, that's all. I'm not about religion. I'm about, I don't know what I'm about. I don't know what I'm about. I'm about life and I'm about souls. I'm about spirit, love. I suppose my family has had a hard time with me all these years, listening to me talk about spirit and how I do connect with such another world, another universe of life. But I continue to share. I do believe in all of the cliches of life. That's why I was writing a book, for crying out loud, right? Cliches I have validated are 100% true. But the fascinating thing about cliches is that they always remain true, but it's us who we continue to transition in life. And so such cliches come to have different meaning for us at different times in our life. So this is going to be another headstone that, again, I don't have all my supplies here. I really didn't know I was going to be here this long. I don't have time to run out to the store. I am providing literally 24-hour care at this point to my parents. It's not about getting a perfectly clean headstone. It's about spending time doing something other than life. And by life, I mean other than routine and habit and schedule and structure. When I clean headstones, it is a break from reality that actually connects me even further to reality. This headstone is not going to get perfect, it's not. But okay. This is kind of a cool tool I haven't used yet. Let's see where we're at. My fingers are frozen again. Okay, John Wesley Baker died July 12th. No. Shoot. It's either June or July 2nd, 1872. Why does it say died twice? I don't understand this. Oh, Mr. Baker, do tell. At this point, I'm not going to worry about the rest of your headstone, but I do want to get these dates as cleaned out as I can. Again, it's not about a perfectly clean headstone. It's about being able to read the dates. And the special little words, like I can tell there's little special words here. I just can't read them yet. Oh, John. John. See, like, that's not gonna come off. I mean, I'm not... In my other life, I could come back here and clean this beautifully. But in this life right now, I'm doing with what I have. I don't like all the cliches either. Life is short and then you die. Hello, what does that mean, you know? Yeah, life is short. Even when you live to be 100, life is short. Oh, if I could just see these words. Yes, I'm anxious about my mom going back in for surgery again tomorrow, less than 2 weeks later. 2 weeks later. None of this makes sense. None of this makes sense. But I gotta keep on going. Keep my mojo going for my mama, my mother, my best friend. Literally, my mother is my best friend, literally. And she was not always my best friend. No, she wasn't. That took me my entire lifetime. What does this say? Died July 12th. No, died June 2nd, 1872. Mr. John Wesley Baker. Aged, what? 22? 32? I'm on a mission right now and I can't stop. I need to read this. Died, still, I don't know, July 2nd, 1872, I definitely see. Well, what is this wording? Oh, John. Like I tell everybody in life, whenever anything in life happens unusual, captures our attentions, that is said to be heaven, spirit, delivering us a message. So the fact that you, Mr. John, are having your headstone so difficult to be cleaned means that, well, you're distracting me from reality. Died June 2nd, 1872, not July, June 2nd. Aged, oh, Venice? Oh my gosh, I can't even read these words here. How am I supposed to read these words? I don't know. I mean, now I can't leave here. I can't leave here until I can read these words. So I'm just going to use all my brushes. Okay, well, whoever you were, John, you're having me a workout here, so. Oh my gosh, there's words up here too. I can't even, what in the world? Oh my gosh. I'm in awe. I'm just in awe. Everything. When your parents get into a state of health issues, such as my parents, my mom, you awaken to a point, it actually can become painful to be so aware. And yet at the same time, I'm learning we have to work for our awakenings. We have to want to know. We can't just live in denial. We can't just live in some disassociated way. What does this mean to me if I can read this at the end? Well, it'll mean a lot to me. And I don't clean headstones to prove anything to anybody. Not even to myself. John, I'm seeing a horse and a carriage. I'm seeing a young man with blonde hair. And I'm seeing a carriage full of yellow flowers. I can't validate any of this, nobody can. It's not about validation. No, it's not about validation. It's about how we choose to find our own peace and joy in life. And that's why I love the cemetery, because look, have I not been talking out loud for the past 20 some minutes, 30 minutes? Nobody judges at the cemetery. All right, I'm gonna let that sit there for a minute. This is a really long, why do I pick the headstones that need the most cleanings? Why couldn't I just pick a small headstone, right? Well, because I was meant, for one reason or another. All right, I'm gonna have to call it the end. I'm almost out of my cleaning solution anyway, as well as almost out of my water. Let's see where we're at, Mr. John. Okay, I see Venice. Okay, died June 2nd, 1872, aged, I can't tell if that says 22 or 72. Venice. Oh boy. Gotta see this. I just have to see it. Come on. Gotta see that. Again, what I'll do when I'm done here is I'll look up on Find a Grave, and that's where I'll find whether you were 72 or 22. Anyways, Mr. Baker, Mr. John, I am so grateful to be here today. Thank you for sharing in this time with me, listening to me babble out loud, talk out loud. I haven't been able to talk out loud like I do my whole life because, well, I'm sharing my life with a life right now that I'm not used to sharing my life with. Moments, rest for the weary. What? What? Okay, this is crazy because I've been telling my mom, I've literally been telling my mom, there's no rest for the weary. What does this say? Oh my gosh, it says there's rest for the weary. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. There's rest for the weary. This is what I've been telling my mom this whole time I've been here. 10 weeks now. I've been saying there's no rest for the weary. This says there's rest for the weary. 72. Venice, died June 2nd, 1872. John Wesley Baker. Wow. Wow. I'm at a loss for words. That's not often. That is beautiful. That is amazing. Like, see, this is what I say. Heaven knows what we need. Like, heaven knew I needed to see this. There is rest for the weary. Not there's no rest for the weary. Here I am talking about cliches. And the cliches of life, how they come to have different meaning for us. There is rest for the weary. And truth be told, the weary are the beautiful ones. The ones who have weary. You know, gosh, kind of forgot about these letterings up here too. I'm just going to try one more time, but that's amazing. I'm in awe. I'm literally in awe. Beautiful awe. Wow and wow. Well, John, thank you for helping me find some peace today. Some beautiful peace. Some may call it a miracle, actually, when you discover such things you're not even looking for. Why would I be telling my mom for 10 weeks now there's no rest for the weary? And I drive up to the cemetery today and I pick Mr. John Baker's headstone. And I can't read the lettering, and when I finally can read it, it says, there is rest for the weary. What in the world? I can't explain it, but it is real. And I know there are certain family members of mine who think I'm just, well, crazy. I'm not crazy. I do wish I could see this, though. This might be one of the longest headstones I've ever cleaned, John. You got me working hard today, huh? And I love it. I do love it. One last scrubbing up here. And we'll see if we can then see It was funny when I was leaving, dropping my mom off with her friends. I've known my mom's friends my whole life. And I said I was going to the cemetery. I thought everybody who knew Natalie knows that I clean headstones. But my mom's friends were like, oh, okay. All right. In my I'm my own. Whoa, what? Wow, this is like wild. There is rest for the weary, age 72. See how even after I clean it, it still continues to clean itself. I think this says, I'm my something own. I'm my... How can I leave here now? Seriously, how can I leave here now? This is what I call part of our own treasure hunts in life, is to tap into our curiosities and want to discover more, as much as we can discover. What will any of this prove or benefit my life from? I don't know. It'll make me feel good. It will make me feel good. But I am lost without my normal cleaning supplies. I'm just lost. Okay, this has to be it, because this is it, the water here. So, like I say to everybody, when I come back, I can always do a little touch up here. That is it for now. I can't read it my own, but that is wild. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and stop this video. This is a long video. I don't think I've ever spent this much time cleaning a headstone before, unless it was a monument. Mr. John Wesley Baker, wow and whoa is what I say whenever I feel touched by an angel. And your soul has definitely touched my own today. I'm grateful that I drove through this cemetery and I pinpointed your headstone. Well, what in the world? Well, this is crazy. Like, there's not even any... There we go. Yay, yay for Mr. John Wesley Baker. Thank you so much, Mr. Baker. I don't even have to say to you, you can't know. You do know. You don't even know me, but you know. This has been a most special visit today. And when I come back, I'll check it out and see what else is going on that I can clean up. But that is what I was meant to see today, is there is rest for the weary. And that I'll discover later. Wow. And now I'm all out of breath. It's a big job sometimes, cleaning headstones. I'm so grateful to be here. Not just here at the cemetery. I'm so grateful to be here for both of my parents. And so grateful that my husband loves our farm back in North Carolina and that he's taking such good care of all of my little babies. So now it's time to clean up. And then what I do is I take an after picture and then I upload them both to the Find a Grave app. Do you hear that? Do you hear that? That is a hawk. That is my friend. For anybody who doesn't know, hawks are my, well, there's my little hawk tattoo there. Hawks are my spirit, greatest spirit animal. Thank you, Mr. Baker, for your life. I hope you had a good life, and I hope you are enjoying eternal peace in a parallel universe we can only all imagine and wish to be one day ourselves in such peace.